Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're trying to cut through some noise, really, looking at a simple, well, maybe simple isn't the right word, a profound framework.
Yeah, it's designed to fundamentally shift how we operate mentally, isn't it?
Exactly. We're diving into material from Dr. Shanthini. She's a practicing psychologist, decades of experience, and also, interestingly, a practitioner of Siddha Digit Poses, or SDPs.
Right, and the question she puts right at the center of her work, it's kind of the hinge for everything, really.
Which is,
Are we actually living our lives as a celebration, or are we, stuck in a default mode of struggle?
yeah.
Because that default setting, it changes everything.
That's a powerful way to frame it. And what's really interesting, I think, is that Dr. Shanthini doesn't just leave this as like a philosophical idea.
No, not at all.
She ties it directly to clinical health. There's a real link she makes between our inner state and our physical health.
Absolutely. The sources are pretty clear on this. If we can genuinely get to that celebratory state, we actually significantly lower the chances of physical and mental problems. Because,
and this is a phrase that really stands out, a celebrating mind is a healing mind. But, making that shift, it needs something powerful, a catalyst.
Okay, let's unpack that catalyst then, because just wishing for celebration, that doesn't cut it. We need something actionable. What's the key here? How do we unlock that state?
it boils down to the mindset of gratitude. But we need to be clear, not the kind of shallow, oh yeah, thanks gratitude.
Right.
This is deep, pervasive. It's the engine, really, that fuels the celebration. It opens up the heart to joy by making you appreciate what you're getting now, today, and also what you've received in the past. Gratitude comes first.
Okay, that sounds great, but gratitude is also one of those words that, well, it gets thrown around a lot, doesn't it?
It does.
So for someone listening right now, maybe feeling overwhelmed, stuck in that struggle cycle, where do they actually direct this feeling? Just saying, be grateful for everything can feel huge, maybe even impossible.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
And Dr. Shanthini structures it really helpfully, actually. She lists specific areas to focus on.
Like what?
Well, there's the obvious ones. Nature, God, if that resonates, and of course your family and friends, your immediate circle.
Okay.
But the fourth one, that's the one I think really hits home. It's gratitude towards the unknown people who work every day for your upliftment.
Ah, okay. That's where it gets really interesting, isn't it?
Definitely.
Because that just completely blows the scope wide open. It pulls you out of your own little bubble of struggle and forces you to see this universal interdependence. It's not just thanking, the coworker who helped with a report. It's the farmer, the delivery driver, the person maintaining the power grid, the sanitation worker.
Right, the whole invisible network, the societal machine that actually gives you the space and security to even sit here and listen to us talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
It really shifts the focus, you see, away from just what you achieved and towards what the collective provides. And to anchor this, the source material brings it right back to something incredibly basic, almost overlooked.
Which is?
The simple act of breathing.
Breathing. It's the most automatic thing we do. Why focus there?
Where it's universal.
Yeah.
It's a baseline of life.
Yeah.
Right? You breathe in, you breathe out, no cost, usually no effort.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just contrast your own easy breathing right now with the millions, literally millions, who might be struggling on ventilators or needing oxygen tanks. That free, easy breath. Dr. Shanthini calls that a miracle worth celebrating.
That really puts it in perspective. But let me push back a little here.
Okay.
What about someone who is dealing with real physical pain or chronic illness or deep grief? Doesn't it feel a bit, dismissive maybe to say, just be grateful for your breath? How does this work when things feel genuinely awful?
That's a really important question. And the goal isn't some kind of toxic positivity, right? It's not about ignoring the struggle.
Okay.
The idea is that gratitude is an internal state, something you anchor inside yourself, almost independent of the external chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to anchor to that one biological constant, the breath coming in it, gives you a foundation.
So it's a starting point.
Exactly. And when you start looking at life through that intentional, grateful lens, even tiny things can become sources of potential joy. Maybe just the joy of enduring sometimes.
I see. So it shifts the battleground. It's less about trying to control the outside world and more about nurturing your inner state.
Precise.
The source material even talks about moments where this gratitude can become so intense it actually brings tears. Not sad tears, but tears of just overwhelming thankfulness.
That's it. That's the psychological shift we're talking about. That's the aim.
But achieving that state and staying there, that's the hard part.
That's the crux of it, yes. Dr. Shanthini points this out very clearly. We might want these good, expansive feelings intellectually, but most of us, we aren't really trained to stay in them.
There's like a gravity pulling us back to struggle.
A powerful one, yes. We decide, okay, I'll be grateful today. And then 2 hours later, something happens, and boom, stress, reaction, back to square one.
So just relying on willpower, mental discipline, it often fails. We need something more tangible, a physical anchor.
That's exactly right. And this is where that bridge comes in, connecting modern psychology with this ancient Siddha wisdom. Wishing for gratitude is one thing. Cultivating it so it sticks, that often needs a physical component. And that's where Siddha Digit Poses, the SDPs, fit into her framework. There are these very intentional physical tools.
Tools designed to train the mind to settle into that grateful state more easily.
Yes, to make it feel more natural, more sustainable.
Okay, before we get into the specific pose for gratitude, maybe just a quick word on Siddha practice itself, for listeners who might not be familiar.
Sure. So Siddha practice, it's an ancient tradition. The core idea is linking your body's posture, its alignment, to managing subtle internal energies. It's not just random stretching or like basic yoga poses.
It's more precise.
Much more. SDPs are very specific, intentional physical locks, you could say. The idea is that our hands and fingers are key energy points, like terminals. So by arranging them in these very precise ways, you're essentially closing an energy circuit.
Yeah.
You're directing that flow inside you to activate specific emotional centers or even health centers.
Ah, okay. That explains why the exact alignment and holding it for a time is so important. It's not just symbolic.
Not at all. It elevates a simple gesture into a practice. And the specific SDP, Dr. Shanthini, introduces for gratitude. Well, visually, everyone knows it.
You mean joining the palms together in front of the chest?
Exactly, like praying or saying thank you or greeting someone respectful. You see it all over the world.
Right. The namaste gesture, essentially.
Essentially, yes. But here's the crucial transformation. When you do that for, say, 2 seconds as a greeting, that's politeness, social convention.
Okay.
But when you dedicate 5 to 10 minutes to holding that same posture with very conscious alignment and awareness, it stops being just a greeting. It becomes a potent Siddha practice.
And that sustained intentional practice is what activates those inner energies, nurtures that emotional healing.
That's the principle. The intentionality transforms it.
Okay, let's get into that intentionality then. Since the alignment is so critical, walk us through the precise instructions from Dr. Shanthini. How do we turn this familiar gesture into a real SDP for gratitude?
Okay, so step 1, obviously hold the 2 palms together right in front of the chest. Now the next key detail is the fingers.
They have to be perfectly aligned, right? All fingers touching, all the lines on the palms matching up, no tilt.
Perfect. That perfect joining is crucial. It creates that clean, unbroken circuit we talked about, any gap, and the energy sort of leaks out.
Right.
Okay, what about the arms?
The elbows, they need to be in a straight, equal line, not drooping down or flaring way out.
Right. And the reason for that straight level line is it keeps the chest cavity open and balanced. If your elbows are uneven, it actually constricts or tilts the energy flow around the heart center.
Makes sense.
Now, here's the real kicker. The part that truly dials in the energetic focus and makes it an SDP, the thumbs.
Okay, what about the thumbs?
You turn them slightly inward, so they're gently touching the center of your chest, right on the sternum.
And the source material explicitly says this spot is the region of the Anahata Chakra, the heart chakra.
Exactly. For those maybe not familiar, the Anahata Chakra is considered your core emotional center. It governs compassion, self-love, emotional balance, and gratitude fits right in there.
So by touching the thumbs right there,
you're physically creating a bridge, a conscious connection. The energy generated by holding the pose correctly gets funneled directly into that center of gratitude and emotional balance.
Wow, okay. The mechanics are actually quite specific, engineered to target that emotional hub.
Very much so.
But 5 to 10 minutes, that's a decent chunk of time to hold a pose and stay focused. How do we keep the mind from just wandering off during that time? That seems like the biggest challenge.
It is a challenge, absolutely.
Yeah.
And at 5 to 10 minutes, it's considered necessary for the subtle energy work to really take effect. So mentally, you need to cultivate a state that's both calm and aware.
Calm and aware, okay. What about the eyes? Open or closed?
Eyes should be open, actually, but relaxed, softly focused, not staring hard at anything, just maintaining a gentle, relaxed awareness of your surroundings. This helps keep you present, stops the mind drifting off into sleepiness or anxious thoughts.
Right, and the thoughts themselves, What should we be consciously focusing on for those 5 or 10 minutes? It needs to be something strong enough to hold our attention.
Yes, the mental practice is just as vital as the physical posture. The instruction is to consciously focus on, well, the big picture, the universe or God, whatever resonates. Focus on every single person who coexists with you on this planet.
Wow.
And consistently, consciously reflect on every blessing you have right now that maybe many others don't. It becomes this structured meditation on abundance, on interconnectedness.
Okay, so the inner goal here, the payoff for doing this correctly, is activating that heart center. Dr. Shanthini mentions you might start to feel something, right? A physical sensation.
Yes, exactly. If you're doing it right, with that calm awareness, you might begin to feel a gentle sensation right there at the center of your chest where your thumbs are touching. Maybe a warmth or a subtle vibration.
And that feeling is the sign.
That's the indicator light, essentially. It suggests the circuit is closed, the connection is made, and the Anahata Chakra is sort of receiving that charge.
Okay.
And the ultimate sign that the shift is really happening, that's when that deep, profound feeling of gratitude surfaces, the kind we talked about earlier, the kind that might actually bring those tears.
The tears of pure thankfulness, not sadness.
Exactly. Tears of just overwhelming recognition of blessing.
That really is the highest expression of it, isn't it? When you can feel that deeply, that positively. The source material basically says when that happens, your whole orientation shifts.
Your life starts to move away from that default setting of struggle.
And into a genuine felt sense of celebration.
It's like you're speaking directly to the heart center, bypassing all the mental arguments and just resetting your emotional compass. It proves you've anchored something stable inside, no matter what's swirling around outside.
So let's just quickly recap what this deep dive has shown us. There seems to be this formula. Living life as a celebration needs a grateful heart. Okay.
Right.
But that grateful heart needs conscious work. It needs to be cultivated and, importantly, physically anchored.
Yes.
And we learned that using this simple, familiar hand gesture, but transforming it through specific alignment and duration, 5 to 10 minutes, turns it into a potent Siddha Digit Pose. A sacred practice, really.
It becomes conscious, energized gratitude, not just a passing thought.
And connecting this back out, thinking about that sustained effort.
Well, think about our usual tendency, right? We're distracted, rushing, reacting, but deliberately setting aside just 5 or 10 minutes.
To hold a specific posture.
Close an energetic circuit consciously. Acknowledge that we all depend on each other, focus on abundance. That consistent practice, it builds a deep emotional anchor. It has to fundamentally change how you perceive the daily bumps in the road, the struggles.
It makes your inner state more resilient, less dependent on everything going perfectly outside.
That shift from struggle to celebration really is an inside job, engineered in this case through intentional alignment and focus.
Which leaves us with a final thought, maybe something for you, the listener, to mull over today.
Yeah. If simply aligning your hands in a specific way and consciously holding gratitude for just 5 or 10 minutes can actually activate something as powerful as the Anahata Chakra.
What other simple everyday actions, things we do without thinking, like how we sit or stand or even hold a cup, might hold some hidden transformative Siddha significance?
If only we approach them with that same kind of intentional, dedicated awareness. What else are we missing?
Finding the sacred in the mundane, that's a beautiful place to leave it. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the celebration mindset.
Hope you find those 10 minutes for gratitude today.